What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what moved it today, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did close 1.08% in the red, which was extremely infuriating to see because I did my pre-market video and things were looking hot like crazy. So 484 the high, 456 the low. So it did get dragged down with the broader market, as you can kind of see, as per usual, that a lot of the volume did come from algorithmic trading. You did see a lot of the kind of smaller transactions as well, or the medium transactions. A lot of that was done on the dark pool, so I'll go over that in a second. We didn't really have that much in macro data. Of course, on the American side, we did have Powell, Fed interest rate decision, so that really did move the broader market, because he wasn't that optimistic, especially even for a March rate cut. As per usual though, that shouldn't really affect NIO, but it does as usual though through algorithmic trading. There wasn't really that much official news, so no official news, no SEC filings. They do have their monthly numbers coming right around the corner, so there might be a certain level of possible FOMO that does kind of happen with NIO. So maybe today might have been the last sell-off before a potential push higher, but a lot of the data that did come out and kind of articles were extremely bullish on Chinese EVs, but nothing really specific to NIO. So for instance, we did have this that came out saying that Russia's auto market hit 1.49 million total sales in 2025, and then Chinese brands did account for 850,000 units, roughly a 57.2% market share. So that is very good. Of course, there really isn't that deep of a breakdown, so I'm sure most of that is BYD and whatever else, but still, nonetheless, a lot of these articles showing demand being there is usually a good thing, and normally would really push NIO higher, but unfortunately, like I said, the broader market had other plans. Aside from that though, we also did have this that came out. So Europe EV sales overtook gas cars for the first time ever, and that did occur in December. So a lot of the stats out there shows that Europe is pivoting towards EV. They're going full EV, and even despite the current tariffs that's being placed on China from the EU, there's still a lot of good opportunity there. So this is why you have a lot of Chinese EVs expanding, obviously NIO included. So 2026 is going to be a crazy year, and it would have been nice for them to expand at a faster rate, because I think in 2024 they kind of slowed it down, kind of pivoted briefly, saying that they were going to stop all expansion. Luckily enough, they smartened up, but Europe is definitely going to be a good moneymaker for them going forward. So we had a lot of good expansion news, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Shorts did return 485,000 shares. 7.87% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 160.4 million shares overall are being shorted. So as I mentioned in my pre-market video, there is 2 times per month when the actual exchanges disclose the true amount of shares being shorted, and that did recently occur. It's always delayed information, mind you, but as of January the 14th, there was 156.13 million shares that were being shorted, and that works out to be 7.66% of the free float. So shorts were able to return roughly around 3 million shares more than what we thought between December the 30th and January the 14th, primarily through the dark pool. Aside from that though, from a options standpoint, we did have 2.3 million in calls, 1.8 in puts, and then 67% of all the options being done were bearish in nature. So definitely yesterday we started to see some of the options being bearish, but a lot of the other data points were pretty much on point. So whoever is betting against NIO is still doing that through options. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly 450 to 5, and going same for the following week as well. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 450. So definitely something to keep in mind. As of today, there was a good handful of transactions occurring on the secondary market. So we did have roughly around 4 transactions that were buys, 207,000, 130, 126, and then 103, and then 2 sells. So big money was actually buying the dip behind the scenes, just algorithmic trading, largely feeding off of American data, was causing NIO to kind of get dragged down. Aside from that, these are all the transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So a little bit more than what we're used to. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, we did have a lot of volume coming from algos, but at the same time, a lot of these kind of medium transactions, so between 100 and roughly around $400,000. So a lot of transactions that were done today. So big money is kind of paying attention to NIO a little bit more. So that's kind of a positive thing, I guess, if that makes sense. But with it closing at 459, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. After hours is going up slightly at 0.87%, but very low volume, mind you. So tomorrow, just watch for 451 to be a strong support, 467 followed by 483. And as I mentioned during the pre-market, it was above this R1. So I was kind of optimistic that we were going to see a very nice recovery, but it really did need to hold this R1. Unfortunately, once the market just opened, it just tanked like crazy. Aside from all of that though, looking on the actual chart, it kind of got dragged back down below that 10-day moving average, so it kind of signals that momentum is drying up a little bit. It's been largely flirting with that 10-day moving average for the last week and a half. So I think just NIO, if they have something in their back pocket, it'd be in their best interest to kind of put it out, or unless they're extremely confident on their monthly numbers, which again is going to be coming right around the corner, you might see a certain level of FOMO possibly on Friday, but Friday is going to be another interesting beast, because on the American side, that is where it'd be the last trading day before another government shutdown. So you might have algos really pushing a lot of stocks lower, and then NIO might regrettably just get dragged down with them. But stochastic RSI is at 64, so neutral, not really overbought nor oversold. No new analyst ratings. So we did have the Morgan Stanley one yesterday, which was pretty optimistic. A lot of articles kind of talking about that, but nothing really crazy new as far as articles. So let me know your viewpoint. Are you buying? Are you selling? Did you take profits, I guess, at the peak? Because at the end of the day, if you take profits, it does make a difference to me. I'm not here to get you to buy or sell, as long as everyone makes money. That's kind of what investing is all about. You need to make money, depending on, I guess, if your time horizon, if you're a swing trader or just long-term investor. But a lot of these videos are more oriented towards what's happening today, what's happening in the next couple of trading days. So let me know your viewpoint on NIO. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you are looking for some solid buy signals though, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.